So this is just one I, right? One voice that says, I want to do this. The problem is, there are so many other I's and desires within us that we end up seeking advice saying, how can I devote more time to spiritual practice? I find myself doing other things. Well, this can't be solved with another fancy routine from another life coach who's going to give you a system he's developed. I guarantee that's not the solution. It could work out for a bit because he's more developed, he's mastered this solar plexus chakra more and it's inspiring to you and he gives you motivation, but take him out of the picture and you'll fall back into your normal old ways. So we need to become self-reliant, and if you really want to know why you procrastinate, why you have multiple conflicting desires and emotions, then you have to look within, you have to meditate. Then you'll know directly. Nobody, no book, no guru can tell you why you're failing in whatever enterprise you're undertaking, because you make the mistakes. Only you can discover that for yourself within. So this is all about, growing our awareness, our self-awareness, becoming a more fully cognizant human being and really knowing at a fundamental core level what our desires are. Because one thing wants to do one thing, another something else. We swear to stay married to one person, but not realizing other desires are within us. We say we want to take on a certain hobby, but then the next day we do something else. We're fickle, indecisive. And so to work in this chakra is also to become a spiritual warrior, because you have to learn to fight against yourself and your natural impulses. It's a constant struggle, especially when we first begin. This is really why the symbolism of the fight between good and evil has manifested throughout all teachings, fairy tales, stories, superhero movies. A good example would be like Neo and Agent Smith out of The Matrix. This common theme is just a reflection of this aspect of war within us. And remember, Neo never actually defeats Agent Smith representing the ego, but Neo just becomes infinitely more stronger by fighting him. It's not that we necessarily need to win every battle, but that we become stronger and more formidable as a result. So it's not really healthy to just see the ego as this filthy, sinful, evil thing. It can actually help us. It can be a spiritual teacher, a guru in a way, an evil guru, you could say, by showing us all the evil within us. So we have to use it in this way, and we have to be willing to face it, to fight it as a sort of worthy opponent in a great game of chess. This is actually what chess means on a spiritual level, to be calculative and strategic with winning the battle for our soul. And recall how Agent Smith is not just one, but he multiplies into many. As we've been exploring, the ego is many, a legion, and pops up everywhere as we continue on the path. And as we understand our own psychology much more deeply, we begin to reveal the ego's secrets, and we slowly gain the capacity to not talk to ourselves or think in a limited linguistic way like the ego does, but we communicate with ourselves through much more refined intelligence that transcends ordinary egoic logic. So relatedly, this is also to do with telepathy, because we start to understand why and how we operate, how the ego operates. And how does the ego operate? Does it operate with higher consciousness? No, it operates as a sort of foreign entity, a sort of mechanical creature, a robot. It's our own artificial intelligence within us, and thus to understand this ego with all of its psychological voices, with all of its own logic and reasonings, we also begin to understand how to communicate much more efficiently in a more refined and direct way. Because through direct understanding, we can synthesize all of this logic of the ego. This is literally what it means to be intelligent. But we'll see more directly how this applies to telepathy towards the end. Right now, our solar plexus chakra is, how should I say, grossly using lower forms of logic that is not aligned with universal truth and consciousness.